Welcome, everybody, to another lewd, crude, and just downright degenerate episode of Card Review Opus 20, or Card Review XX parentheses X. It's technically 30. Don't do the math. Listen, guys, that was a really easy joke for me to make, and I had to. Just let me have it, okay? Don't be critical in the comments, animals. I know how you guys get. So today, normally I make a really cool editing thing for these kind of videos and have really playful jokes and captions along the way. Yeah, I'm way too strapped on time to do anything that artful and entertaining. So what I did was brought somebody equally entertaining and valuable with me to talk about this set's cards. Please welcome Rainey.
Wow, thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere. That was very kind. How are you, Dylan?
I am excited. I haven't got a chance to talk about the card art of this set for like the whole set. Everybody's just been jamming and making decks, but I'm like, yeah, but have we talked about this card yet?
It does great things, but how does it look? Right? It's the important
Exactly,
thing.
right. You know, the text is great, but look at the art. Look at the card. Look at the curves. Look at the shoulders, the arm, the hair. Oh God, the hair. So much good hair this set.
There is a lot of good hair, particularly on the men.
Yeah, yeah. The men are kind of killing it in this set a little bit, right? This is I'm glad that I have somebody to break up the diversity on this one. I could easily give a lot of love to all the men, a lot of women to be loved on this one, a lot of they thems potentially as well. So according to one of the cards, no gender specified, but
I
more
do
for
have
that.
a diverse list for you, so
Yes.
be ready.
So for those catching this on VOD or catching this out at the moment, I asked Rainey what her pool of cards was. I had mine set up, and mine was not even close to how much Rainey had on this one. So the format we will do is that I will start with one, and then we will get not one, not two, but three of Rainey's because she has thoughts about these. Thoughts with a capital THOTS spelling, because of course this is the degenerate review. Are you ready to hop into it?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so before the show, we both had just talked about one card that did feel like it was eluding us. And I feel remiss to sit here and not make it a point to talk about it because it's a full art, it's a pretty girl, and it's just like all around and probably worth talking about. So, honorable mention to Full Art Celeste. Whew. Okay, so she's on a tree, which is a really easy girl on wood joke to make, but I'm gonna skip over the easy ones. Rainey,
Never
what
make
about
the
this card
obvious
is
joke.
what about this card's a banger?
All right, so I think I see it a little differently than you do. I'm a big fan of the Yeti spaghetti decks, and you can
Yes.
Photoshop a plate of a steaming hot plate of spaghetti in her hand right there. So she's offering it right up to you. So that's why I like this card. But Dylan, tell me, what does it look like she's holding in her hand to you?
You know, the meme templates have been really, really good to you. You know, is this a crystal? Is this Final Fantasy the trading card game? What is Final Fantasy the trading card game? They have one. You know, I think to me, what she's holding in her hand, oh, gosh, the lewd brain kicks in. This is this is genitalia criticisms, both small and large, all very accepting of her hands, which are appropriately sized, mind you, flatteringly sized, even if we're going to be honest with it. It could be that she's just tickling an undercarriage of something. Maybe not necessarily a person. Maybe a ticklish horse. Maybe a cute panda bear. And she's just like, come on over. It's a very welcoming picture. It's not like out of its way sexy, but then you get a little bit of the cross stitch thighs, and then like it's just letting you know that she really, if she wanted to, she could ball out. She could go to the club.
You could crush you with her thighs. I didn't notice that. Yes, good catch.
Yeah. Tasteful shoe art as well. I thought it was nice. The little clip on heels. I was just like, okay, princess, I see you. John Strider already in the chat. Honorable mention. Oh Lord, the disrespect. I don't know if I can stick with it. Also, John, that's the first time I've seen your YouTube picture, and it's fantastic. John, stick around. I think we're gonna redeem ourselves by the tail end of this one.
Don't count on it.
Or you'll be equally disgusted with our picks going onwards. But yeah, so that's Celeste. That's an honorable mention. We've got a lot of cards to get through, so I'm going to start with one that's going to really get everybody back on the same page. I think we can all agree, and this is probably my, I don't know, fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like my top seventh card or something of the set, and It's no.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let me try to make this a little bigger. I wish I could scroll. This one has a full art too, doesn't it? Or am I mistaken? Yeah, there is a full art because I own this full art. Okay. Look, first off, name is no, but those eyes say yes. All right. Those
Right. It's more of a no, yes type of deal.
Yeah, like first of all, always get consent, everybody, at all times. I don't care if you're a guy, I don't care if you're a girl, or they or them. But these blushing cheeks and the smug smirk smile, I don't know what it is, but it just warms my heart in a way that I can't explain. Rainey, am I crazy for this?
Yes.
Okay. So when you see no, you do think, in fact, no,
No.
no.
No, I see adorable, sweet, innocent little, yeah, no.
No, I want to, I'm looking for the right Final Fantasy conversations just to continually send this face zoomed in because it starts getting really horrific the more you just zoom in.
No, I can see that. Yeah. I'm picturing that in
Yeah,
my head,
I
zooming
mean,
in farther and farther, and it is highly disturbing.
like look at it. It gets better the more you zoom in on it. I love it for this reason.
You should
It's
stop.
it's it's entertaining, it's delightful. Don't think about ages too much, and it's not real anyway, so ages don't exist. Not the point. Next point is let's talk about Rainey's cards though, because I feel like Nona's gonna be criticized. John says, okay, I'm out. Okay, good seeing you, John. I will see you in Portland, hopefully, buddy. I forget if John's going or not. The first of your cards, though, maybe less critical, is we've got Ifalna. And goodness, these cards are too big for the screen. Let me zoom out. There we go. Okay, a little better. All right, this is mommy vibes. I can get
Yes,
that.
yeah. So I don't think there's what's one of the most attractive, beautiful things in the world. It is a mother caring for her child.
Mhm.
That simple. There's the obvious joke there. I won't make it, but yeah, I there's nothing dirty or degenerate about it. I just think that what's nicer than that?
You know what? I'm with you because I appreciate that we're balancing out some of this degeneracy with some wholesomeness. And
Mhm.
I think that the little, the green, almost like the little Mako dots, the little spirit, little ones all over with the little stars and the clear love of fascination with it, with Aerith, is like a wonderful touch.
Yeah.
However, I'm
Oh,
gonna start with what I call the zoom in test, and that Aerith's face. Oh gosh, I don't know what it is. It's the uncanny valley effect that's hitting me a little too hard, I think here.
really?
A little bit, yeah. I don't know. Like if Fauna is just right, you know, the
Maybe
appropriate
I
amount of
guess
like,
Aerith looks a little bit too joyful. Like no one ever looks that happy, right?
yeah, like it kind of looks like the the what is it? The comedy and drama faces, like the classics. Like
Oh, definitely. I can see
it's
that.
too much that it's too much comedy. It's not enough. Like maybe like just like a facial wrinkle or expression to just touch it up.
I can see that. Or it's almost like she's maybe done some ecstasy or something, and that's why there's all these green sprinkles and she looks so
Yeah,
happy.
maybe there's some like really cruel intentions here, but I think that it's best not to like break it down too much because
Yeah,
then
I have a feeling this won't be the first time I say this tonight, but I wish you hadn't pointed that out.
yeah, this will be, I'm sure, a series of loving card art followed by maybe immediately regretting having to talk about it and dissect it. But this card's cute. Also, really quick, I love that it's kind of like it looks like they're in a very modern day apartment. Like this could easily be like an air conditioner or something. And something about how extra modern this is like kind of just humorous to me. Like
That's a good point.
I don't know, it takes out the fantasy to it, but I don't hate it for it. Anyways, okay, let's see if this works with the screen share. On to your next pick. Okay, good. We have Rosa.
All right. So beautiful card art, obviously, goes without saying. The little circlet around her head, ever since the never-ending story, that's always kind of done it for me.
Yeah.
Something about her too. She looks so wholesome, innocent, pious, kind of like a Joan of Arc thing vibe
Yes.
going on. And there's something very intriguing about corrupting something that wholesome. So there's that. And as my husband said, there's nothing wrong with a girl down on her knees. So there we go.
You know,
That's it for me.
I think that's Of course, it was either him or me. So, to be fair with it, no. Listen, as a former Seattle local native, nothing. I love me some good rain art. You know, a girl in a puddle, which is more like a lake. I don't know. It's knee high, so this is pretty deep. I think this art is incredibly tasteful, quite lovely. I think this is like the most definitive white mage art we've gotten. You know, like if we're talking about especially for like a character, right? It's has that sense of like purity and sanctity, but then you remember that Rosa's a baddie, and then I think it does just enough to tastefully tease, but without it being very clearly a like thirst trap card. You know what I mean?
Very tasteful
Yes.
thirst trap, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, sure, we're getting a little top, a little suppleness here, but everything's covered appropriately with the praying hands with that, and I think that's actually a wonderful contrast to the card as a trying to be a sanctful card, while also still being an attractive card in that way. Generally speaking, I just really like that art style too. It's got that watercolor paint style.
Yeah, the watercolor looks amazing.
I think it's just so neat. That being said, those are definitely going to be wet socks or stockings, and that turns me off to it because that's like easily a top 2 worst sensation in this planet.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So, Rosa, go change your socks, girl. You deserve a little better than this, but you're drawn spectacularly in this card. All right. And then I don't know what numbers these are, but the next card for you, this is the third one of on this run of 3. Owaka.
Okay, so yeah, I on the surface, no, maybe not the most attractive card, but here's the thing. Owaka is independent, self-made entrepreneur, small business owner. He's got the dad bod. This is someone you want to marry. This is someone you want to take home to your parents. And let me tell you, I'm kind of aging myself a bit here, but long before the current popular haircuts, even before the frosted tips, it was all about the bowl cut. And so that that has a place in my heart. So Owaka is he's checking all the boxes for me, man.
You know what? I'm not going to disagree with you. If you see right back here, you got a girl who's just like, is she staring at his art, like his wears and tears, or she's just staring at Owaka being quite charming? I think that, what? I appreciate women who can appreciate dad bod. That's a showing of maturity. And as somebody who is very deeply in his 30s and definitely does his best to rock it as well, I don't think I could rock the leather vest as well as he is, because he's got.
No, that is a questionable fashion choice. I appreciate that he has the confidence to do it, but I'm not sure if he's pulling it off.
Yeah, but you know what? Tasteful midriffs, I'm here for it, all across the board. Men, women, doesn't matter. Bowl cut on top, fun little hat. I don't think his hat gets talked about enough in this case. Now, obviously, it's being.
I think
there's like a little tiny hat that he usually wears, but it's Owaka right now, unfortunately. Rainey, go win Worlds and then make this your full art card choice, and then we can see the art and all of its true.
Sure, if I win Worlds, I promise that will be my choice.
Yes, we've got it on record, everybody. There it is. But also, I think that Owaka knows how to party too. Look, he's got this purple stuff that's spitting out like a mist. Is it like a drink? Is it like a fragrance? I think it attracts people. What do you think this does?
I wonder, maybe that's why I like this card. Maybe there's some like hormonal stuff going on here. Yeah, he does look like he knows how to party, and I think he has that balance in life that's so important. He's a hard worker and he parties.
A man who does it all. Owaka. There you go. Excuse me while I take a second to plug up my screen, because this is what happens when you're sharing multiple screens and windows at all times. The next card up is actually my, 6th favorite card or something like that. Who keeps up? Nobody cares. These are in some particular order, but glad to know we haven't lost John all the way. Y'all mentioned Bay for Owaka. Yo, Owaka gets it, bro. Next up, we got Cecil. This
was almost made the cut for me as well. Good one.
You know what? I talk a lot about eyes. This card was in full art too. Fuck, I'm messing up this whole video. Just pretend this isn't full art, everybody. I talk a lot about hair. Look, I talk about a lot about eyes, and those eyes, sultry. Whimsical even. Like, there was actually something I read. Remember, I think I had read somewhat recently, was that men's pictures are typically considered more attractive whenever they're looking away from the camera, as if they're ignoring the subject, aka you, of an attention focus. And I've never unheard that. And there's something about characters looking away, like especially like cards like Cecil, that kind of have that effect. Rainey, am I wrong on this?
He is just gorgeous. I think I didn't choose him because it's so obvious how hot he is, and I wanted to go, a little more out there with my
Right.
choices. But yes, I am in love with this man. I'm in love with this card. I want to eat him alive. Yes.
Yeah. I'm a basic man for basic men. You know what? Or at least on the clearly attractive, debatably androgynous men's at time with some of these things. I think that the tasteful water art sky is also criminally underrated and really flatters his color schemes altogether. Great card all around. And you know what? Something we don't speak about enough. This man rocks some good jewelry. These earrings and the little circlet that he wears.
Yeah, the circlet is back again. I do like that.
Yeah, so we're right back on circlet love on this one. So I'm glad that we can both respect. I respect the fit more than anything. It takes a lot to pull off shoulder pads.
I know those are quite some shoulder pads, yeah.
They are. Next up, we're going back over to Rainey's, and this was one that was definitely on my list. So I'm glad that it was throwing on it. So this can be a bit of a 2-for-1 for us. But next up is Orin, and especially with that beautiful 4. Oh, Rainey, you going ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is again almost so obvious that I didn't want to include it, but he's your silver fox daddy kind of stuff. I mean, this Final Fantasy X was the first game that I played, and just I feel like such a loser saying this. The attraction was instant to Orin. He was he's amazing, dude. I don't love the card art. It's not my favorite. This what are these from? I mean, it's 10, but I think the art is it's not Dissidia, is it?
I think it doesn't say on the bottom of the card, but I'm inclined to say it's Dissidia, or if there's like a mobile game that randomly ran Orin in it for some particular reason, that's because it has that same like stylized, like very CG look to it.
As the Tidus that's the one it reminds me of. From the other set. So I don't love the art. It's not my favorite style, but that splash of white hair and the winking eye, it's all Gucci.
Is it winking or is it just missing? I never know.
I think it's missing, actually.
Yeah. yeah. So, okay, what if it was winking and it was just a gaping eye? Like, would that still...
If there was just a hole there? No, yeah. I think that might be... I don't like to sound shallow, but I think that might be a deal breaker for me.
More holes is a deal breaker for Rainey. Okay, well, good to know. Not it for a lot of the people who are still continuing to watch this video, but I will say I'm here for the clash of the reds and blues. I think that ties really well with this art aesthetic. I'm with you. Orin, you could easily just recover the Orin name and just put Daddy there, and it does not feel strange or jarring at all. He's objectively one of the, maybe even, I don't know, don't make me think too hard about this. He might be Final Fantasy's best, like, daddy, like, older brother party member in the whole Final Fantasy verse.
He's up there for sure.
Yeah, like, I don't know, somebody might challenge me and immediately say, what about blah blah blah, and what about so and so, and I'm like, listen, as long as we all agree that it is not actually jacked, that guy sucks as a dad. He definitely went out for a pack of cigarettes and then got turned into a whale. So but Orin, you know what, the confidence to pull off those shades, that's the 10 out of 10 for me. The silver fox, all of it together, but the shades, and it's the raised up neck thing. It's super duper anime. It makes me think like Katsuki from Naruto, how they have their cloaks and stuff like that. I don't know, it just looks cool. It's badass. He's just cool looking. He's neat. He's a very attractive man. This man did well before he was slaying monsters. He was definitely slaying. Next card.
Something else,
Next up on the list with Rainey's is... Oh, and I kicked it off. Okay, so let's bring it back this way. Rufus.
All right, so this is just 100% about the outfit and nothing else. I love what he's wearing. Very K-pop. Although now I'm looking at his pants and I can't tell. Are those some like Jenkos going on? What is he wearing down there? That is...
No, it's the overcoat that's Jenko.
Is it the overcoat? Okay, that I can deal with.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. All right, yes, then yes, I stand by my decision.
Yeah, Rufus. One of the defining lines I'll say with a male character design that really does it for me when it's not doing something cool or actiony or something is, do I run my hand through their hair? And
And do you?
I do. It's just like the most welcoming plate of spaghetti you've ever seen. It's just the smooth buttery noodles, but by God, do I just want to slick my way through it?
Do
Like, because
you
it's going
run
to be
your
easy.
hand through plates of noodles? Like,
You
is that
don't?
a thing you do? Maybe I'm missing out. I gotta try it, I guess.
Listen, sensations are everything, girl. Don't knock it till you tried it.
All right.
Okay, fair enough. You got a kid. I'm sure there's
I'm
some
gonna
buttered
freak my
noodles laying
kids
around.
out pretty thoroughly tonight. I can tell you when I start stroking the spaghetti.
Yeah. I like the power exuding thing, right? Like, I think that's some things that aren't talked about enough with men who appreciate men, right? Is that I think a friend of mine had once said before, and this is coming from a woman, is that she's like, men like sexualize men in the way that they would like to be like hugged or held or like loved by them, and they're like, women will sexualize women because we want to be them.
That's true. Yeah.
And I want to be Rufus. This man has money, charisma, a fantastic hairline, frankly, a great job. President of Shinra. That makes him like the most richest dude on the planet, objectively. He's the Seto Kaiba of Final Fantasy VII world.
He's just getting more and more attractive the more you keep talking.
Right.
I
could see him playing. You know what? I could actually see him playing dragon cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unironically, I think that he could do it. Son of a bitch, I'm in. I want to see him with a suitcase and he fights you with it. And then it's just like, I've got more business to do later. And then just grabs a helicopter and flies off because he doesn't even get in. He just grabs the handle. There's no way the security detail lets him get away with that for too long. They're like, get into the helicopter, sir.
Yes, I can see all this.
Anyways, I haven't been counting. I think this is your third. Let me double check.
Yeah, it should
I think it's right. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. No, I think we got one more. So one more before we hop over to mine. And this one, talk about a homie. Talk about a homie with a real glow up on the art. Rainey, I want you to tell me why Johnny is the guy.
I can sum it up in one sentence. You could bounce a quarter off his abs. That's it. I realize this is quite like kind of the polar opposite of a Waka.
Yeah.
But I have appreciation for both. So
you know what? Get a girl that likes both, because I'm with you. Listen, like, you could grate cheese on those abs, right? But the smell will tend to linger if you don't wash it off. Fun fact. Yeah, Johnny, I think is really funny is that he is literally the exact opposite of a Waka. A Waka, self-made man. Johnny's job, literally the job is shaming him. Sector 7 slum dweller. Do you know a job more degrading to have than slum dweller on your card name?
No, that is, I have not seen that before. That's pretty terrible.
Like, I mean, they were graphic about it. They told you where he is and how poor he is and what all the implication behind that is. I don't know, but either way, Johnny fucks. This dude is definitely like he's getting it. I mean, look at the tight pants too. Like,
he's got nice abs, Dylan. I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I think if he talked less, which is something I often hear told to me, I think he would be doing better off in the game. But you know what? Johnny keeps doing his thing. One card that was not on yours, but was on mine. Now, maybe this is the Final Fantasy 14 fan in me coming out, and this will be back-to-back 14 cards for those wondering at home. We got Astinian. This guy has a dragon inside of him, kind of. Rainey, I don't know how to connect those sentences and give you the opportunity without making it too dirty. So, what's your thoughts on Astinian?
I don't like it. I haven't really looked at this card before. I haven't played a lot of 14. I don't like his face. I probably making a lot of people angry right now when I say this, but he's got one of those punchable faces to me. He just kind of looks mean, nasty. Yeah, this is not doing it for me.
Okay, so that's fine. You can upset the 14 community. They're not vocal at all. None of the Final Fantasy communities are ever vocal about their thoughts.
No one has any opinions.
Zero opinions. I think we are the only 5 or 6 people. Any of us that record our opinions and put it out there, I think we're the only ones with opinions. Everybody else is very polite, Very
Yes,
quiet.
absolutely.
Never any trouble there. I'll say right away, we go right back to like, you know, cards and like guys that are just killing it. This guy, like, all right, so in the game, he gets like Nidhogg's the big dragon behind him gets his eye, and then he kind of like absorbs its power and stuff like that. And it's just fucking cool, man. I don't know. This is me just being a dragon fan. He's like a great character. He's a great character in the game. I agree with you. He has a very punchable face, and that's by design. But like 14 was a funny thing where they'll give you a character and they're not afraid to loot them up, but they give everybody the right amount of fan service. So like in the most recent one, he's like shirtless doing like something like push-ups or something like that. And the most recent expansion, and there's like a cutscene with everybody like kind of ogling him. They're like, oh my, you know. And I'm just like, good for you, directors, to make sure it's not just Y'shtola, because everybody can, you know, everybody can fantasize about a cat girl, but this guy has a dragon. He is a kind of a dragon. It's just
Dragons are cool.
Dragons
I'll give you
are
that.
cool.
Yeah.
And so are guys with spears that jump really high. Maybe I'm just jealous of his ability to jump that high. It's just neat. Maybe I just want to be Estinian. I don't know. He tends to attack and do cool things. But continuing our trend of men whose hair I would run my fingers through, we're going to go to your next one up on this one. 14's probably main antagonist for like the most part. If you know, somebody can criticize me for saying that, but I don't think I'm wrong. We got Xenos.
All right. So this card, I have a thing for kind of androgynous men with long blonde hair. So Orlando Bloom, not a huge fan. Legolas, yes.
Okay.
Henry Cavill, I could take him or leave him.
Sure.
As The Witcher, yes.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So and definitely, I also have this thing. I don't know if you've seen The Good Place, like
no.
There's this meme floating around the internet where it's like he's hot in a starving Victorian boy kind of way. I want to feed him soup. That's kind of how I feel about this guy. Right. You know, like I want to take him home and nurse him back to health because he is not looking so good, man. But I'd have fun taking care of him. I love the hair. I'm pro Xenos.
Yeah. No, so thematically, because I know you haven't played 14, I think that's like the right meme to apply to him too, because he is like I think twice dead over now in the series.
Oh, okay. Like, so soup would be well, maybe not enough. But
maybe not enough, but welcomed, you know, for sure on that one. For a dead guy, he is incredibly handsome still. Not a sentence I get to use enough, frankly. But yeah, Xenos is cool. I think some people are annoyed by him. I think that what's extra sexy is his text goes along with the flavor of the card. He's a guy that's died and then came back, kind of Jesus-y, if you will. But he's a card that you can play from your break zone. And I was just like, that is so on brand for this card. I love it for so many reasons for that. Plus his job is Reaper. You know,
that's very cool. That's very cool.
That's a sexy title. That's a sexy job.
Yeah, I'm rereading Red Rising right now, and I hadn't noticed if that was his job. But for those of you out there who have read Red Rising, Reaper is a very, very great character. So I appreciate the job.
It's got the beautiful moon backdrop to it too. Just tasteful art all around, you know. And honestly, I can dig a guy.
You know, there's something almost like vampiric about it, right? We got night, the full moon. He's got the castle in the background, super pale face. Yeah,
he's got that blood red coat, cape to him or whatever, kind of going on in the background with it. Yeah,
exactly.
It's very Alucard vibes, if you will. So,
yes.
This card's great. But his whole love language is fighting, and I don't know. I'm too much of a communication guy, but that means physical touch is probably pretty high up there. So we're probably on the same wavelength with that.
Could be.
Now, I don't remember what this next card is, Rainey, but I'm just going to cue it in and say, is this card's love language physical touch? Number 1. We've got Reeve.
Look, I don't remember 7 too much. I really don't remember the character too much. I do know that he goes right there with how do you say it? Is it Kate Sith or Cat Sith or Chat Sith? I hear it every which way. But
I always say Kate Sith, but if I've learned anything about Final Fantasy, it's pronounce it however you want and insist that it's
and enrage everyone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this one honestly, I just kind of threw in there because I laughed when I saw it. I don't remember what his other cards looked like, but I'm like, is he called Reeve because he looks like Keanu? But yeah, that was the only reason there.
You know what? If you hadn't made the Keanu reference, I would have been like, what in the world are you doing with this card? This is a very stern, grumpy man. But now that I'm thinking John Wick, I'm like, oh fuck, this card's kind of cool now.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mentioned the love language thing earlier, but yeah, he pilots Kate Sith around. So like, I think there's a really interesting dynamic that you've got this big cuddly like, stuffed animal machine thing, and you've got this guy piloting it with what looks like the grumpiest face possible. That just really humors and tickles me with it.
I like that a lot. I think I'd forgotten that whole part. So was he actually inside, or was he controlling it remotely?
No, it's a remote control one, right?
Remote control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because at one point, like, it gets crushed in and it becomes the black materia. And
then no. Okay.
Yeah. Which actually would be really metal, actually. Unironically, like, can I get some fan art of that? If we got any artists listening and they're just kind of like, I would like some inspiration to draw something, draw him and like a cute, like, stuffed animal thing, just slowly getting like compressed into the black materia. That just sounds funny to me for reasons I can't explain.
That's very like Danganronpa to me.
Yes. The one thing I will say about this card though is I really wish it didn't feel like this was like a headshot picture or like a picture he had to take for like, some sort of like PowerPoint or something, because it's got like the Shinra Electric Company on the back and it's just like him like in front of it, and this is very much like, I don't know, like here's
what you see when you click on the About Us on the company website page.
Yeah, like this is one of those like stock LinkedIn like photos, and I'm kind of just like, Reeve, like, you're more than your job, buddy. But apparently he's not, because his job is literally Shinra executive, and that's it. So, but not slum dweller. This guy made his money.
No, not slum dweller
at all. The next card coming up, is it a slum dweller? Is it not, Rainey?
Is this so this card coming up? It's before you judge me, let me explain. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Next card up on the list is Arcasadara.
Yes. All right. So for me, it was a tough choice between this one and Hedgehog Pie. I'll let you figure out why I like that one. But this one, so here's the thing. One of the most attractive things in the world to me is a partner who remembers your birthday, remembers anniversaries, remembers little things that you love. And you know what they say about elephants? They never forget. This is clearly like an elephant-based creature. I have no idea what it is or what the backstory is or what is going on here. So there's that. Like, he remembers my birthday, right? Getting a present every year, no question. The other thing is this shirt he's wearing, this man thing, this I think this entity. I think of entity clearly still like embraces its childhood. It still has a love for life and bright colors and fanciful imagery. So yes, that is why I like this card.
I'm looking at this card, and the more like I've played 14, and I'm having a hard time thinking if like Arcasadara is like, I think it's just like the race, like the elephant type of race in like the region that they're in. I don't think it's specifically a character, because I know there's one character, and I'm forgetting their name right now, but they have a feminine voice, so I'm assuming that they're a woman. And that one's a woman. This one, the more I look at it, the more I can't tell if it's young or old, or if it's boy.
Why is it dressed like a preschooler? That's what I want to know. Do they all dress like that?
I'm not sure, but you know what?
I'm pretty sure this is the outfit I put my kid in today before I sent him off to kindergarten. Like, it's close.
I love it more knowing that you haven't played 14 and you're just like, yes, this elephant monstrosity, this is the one I'm ranking.
This is it. Yeah.
In your top 5. It's your number 5, objectively. John, still hanging with us, says, guys, have you looked at Celeste? Yeah, it was
the very first one, wasn't she?
Yeah, we both agreed that it was worth talking about, but there were about 19 other cards that did the job better. And Rainey said that she likes somebody who can remember your birthday. So here we are, Arcasadara.
Here we are.
I immediately had challenges with you in the chat with it, and you explained it, and I was like, you know what?
You agreed immediately. You saw where I was coming from.
Rebuttal. I mean, this elephant never forgets a birthday, never forgets anniversary, and probably still celebrates the first date that you guys had that you forgot what date it was, but Arcasadara does.
Oh, he totally does. This is the kind of boyfriend or partner that like saves everything. The movie stubs from the stubs from the first movie you went to. Maybe you wiped his face with a napkin. He's still got that napkin somewhere in a creepy box in his closet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you couldn't wipe their face because they would just use the trunk and like wipe their own face with it.
But how do they wipe their trunk? I guess they could use their hands. Never mind. Forget that.
There's some sort of joke to be made about a trunk nose, but I just can't find it in me to find funny enough.
No, stop.
We're gonna switch it over to my the last one on my list. This is exclusively my list, right? Because I'm agreeing with you on some of your top picks. So, this is like my number 4. Then I guess for those keeping up at home, we've got Mira. I love this poker card style art. The juxtaposition between like evil self, good self, the cute little art style on it. Mira's just gets such good art. Such good art. This is like maybe my favorite one, but the other one with the cherry blossoms around it is like so tasteful, so touchful, and it's just like nice. John says, "This is a child." Listen, John, hear me out. Nothing particularly sexual about it. I think it's just a very tasteful art. It's job queen, and it's super cute. It's attractive art, and by attractive art, what I mean is it is art that is doing a lot to make it feel whimsical and magical. It makes you look like you're looking at like Disney the card, you know? Like there's just little like nuances and stuff there that I think are just cute and tasteful. But yeah, it's great. And it's I mean, if we're going to get weird with it, it's a girl on top of a girl and it's herself. Well, sure, why not? There's easy jokes to be made there. But Rainey, this is a child.
You should have stopped 20 seconds ago. That would have been better. I love what's happening in the background. I absolutely get like the Disney vibe as well. But yeah, lots of cute stuff happening here. I'm a big fan of this type of card. The ones they had before, it was like Chime and Leo. I can't remember. I think there was another one. Top 18 sexy cards. Thank you, John. Yeah, no, I would. This is the kind of card that I would love to get, like one of those like triptych displays, frame. You know, have that going on. I don't think it's hot or sexy. I do think it's a child. I think that's really disturbing, but it's a cool card, Dylan. It's a cool card.
Maybe I'm just here for the Tom Betty, you know?
Still disturbing. Let's move on.
Is it worse or better? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, I love that I've named this in a way that's so incriminating for me. Okay. All right. This will be an easier one to kind of shape up, get us back into lane here. America's favorite word, brother.
Brother.
Rainey.
All right. So this has a lot going for it. You have the sick Victorian boy going on again. I mean, I know he looks healthy because he's very ripped, but he's got those dark circles under his eyes that maybe makes me think he's got a touch of, tuberculosis or something. He's got same thing, like some heroin chic going on, and I am a 90s girl, so I appreciate that. I feel like this guy's going to step out of a bathroom in like the Train Spotting movie or something, right? He's also got this very like cyberpunk thing going on. And I mean, you know that this man is just so messed up, right? Yeah. He is just this disaster of emotions and complications and baggage. And I want to go in there and I want to fix him.
You can't fix him, Rainey.
I know I can't, but I want to. And
yeah, that may be a challenge or a quote that's thrown in me here in like a card. But yeah, I want to talk about Brother real quick. So Brother is shredding on a guitar, looking like the guy from Mad Max Fury Road with the flamethrower guitar on it. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I actually think it's just him because I think if he puts the goggles on, he looks just like him. I'm not blind to the very tasteful, extra emphasized wind element, appropriately covering his, I'm going to say it's his penis, and his alleged penis. I don't know. I've never seen it. But Brother, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's why he looks so tired. Maybe the blood's got to go somewhere. But it's either that or, like, he looks like he's been doing a bunch of French raves for, like...
Wait, can I interrupt? I was not given a script prior to this. I had no idea what was coming out of this man's mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go on.
Maybe I don't know, but maybe it's maybe that's the problem, right? Like maybe maybe it's all like show or no grower, and that's why he has to carry a guitar in front of it because otherwise.
Yeah. So I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay. Yeah.
I hadn't noticed the guitar. Like I don't see details a lot, but yeah, that the musician makes it way more attractive.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're even more on board with brother.
Even more on board. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Brother, it's the word of the NA. If you know, you know. I think anybody in the Final Fantasy scene knows exactly what I'm talking about. We can't stop referring to each other as brother. Anyway, we've got 3 cards left. Are they going to be handsome dudes, jacked bros, busty babes? Let's find out. Card number 3. I'm going to let you talk for a little bit because I'm going to go on a rant.
All right. Everything is working on this card, right? First of all, the name. She's a goddess, and she is, right? Absolute goddess. The clothes, like the strategic placement of the tiny strips of cloth is all perfect. It's extremely revealing, yet somehow she still manages to look really tasteful. Maybe because she's a goddess and she can get away with dressing like that. Maybe deities are allowed to be a little more scandalous without looking, ghetto. So the hair, we got that hair that you want to run your fingers through. The very tasteful both side boob and under boob going on, which is very hard to pull off. I mean, yeah, she's gorgeous. Like this is a card that I just like to look at, not in any weird, creepy way. It's just a beautiful piece of art. And I just noticed that, what is she, like riding on a yak or something? I don't know what's going on there. But no, what? Oh.
Yeah, so the thing that she rides on, I'm not elaborating, making this up. So in 6, I can't tell you what, obviously it's pixel art, but in 14, they have this character as the Warring Triad, and she's riding on like several faces.
Okay, yeah, when you scroll down, I saw that was a face, and like a human face, and not
it's like just imagine like a big floating head that's like a stage for her, right? Like that's effectively what it is.
Okay, I kind of don't like that very much, but that's okay. We don't need to talk about that. But the background too, man, the sunburst and the clouds and whatever that gold thing is going on behind there that every single boss seems to have going on behind it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love this card. I think it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I've never been more jealous of the face before. There's something about this card that not being a full art feels like illegal to me, to be honest with it. I saw this card and immediately sat there and said, I'm not a foot guy. I'm not a foot guy. But my need to have to see this part of the card does make me question it, and I don't love that about this card. But
I can see that. I think she probably has some very beautiful feet. What do we think? Like wrapped in she's got some like Greek sandals going on, or just barefoot? Right.
Yeah, like it's something nice. I also just want to see what this face is because it should have been me, damn it. It should have been me. But I agree with everything you said before. There's just the tastefulness of perfectly striking the balance between this exotic but still not like trashy, right. To be able to show off this much and just be like this pristine thing. She could be a statue for all we care.
Absolutely, so yeah.
Goddess is aptly named, aptly described.
Classy, not trashy somehow.
Yes. And for showing midriff, we've got the whole full spectrum on it. This actually may be the lewdest card that exists in this game, if I'm thinking about it too. You
might be right.
I tend to be a bit of an expert on these things, and I feel like this is probably the lewdest card.
I'll take your word for it then.
She is a statue.
She is a statue, like literally, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, and 6, doesn't like Kefka move it, and then that just like awakens these 3, right? I don't know, John. I haven't played 6, but I know that much about 6, right? Like, doesn't he move the Warring Triad, and then for like the lulz, and then becomes a god on accident? Let me know. John's disappointment will never stop, especially now that I've doubled down and reminding him that I haven't beaten 6. But yeah, step on me, mommy. Let's go on to the next card. So, number 2 for us. Can't remember. Oh, I remember what it is. I think we're gonna bring John back with this one. Yeehaw! It's Tifa.
All right. I feel bad including this because it's so obvious, right? It is the easy answer, but yeah, I mean it's Tifa. She's dressed as a cowgirl. It's really cute, saying howdy, tipping her hat at you. Killer necklace. She's got cute little shirt showing her midriff. She's got the little crisscross threads going on. I love it. I think that it is the wrong outfit for the job, if I'm correct.
Accurate, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just so obviously cute that it's a no-brainer to include it.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
think
think?
the one thing I share right away with the text on this card is that I can never become dull while looking at this Tifa card. I didn't notice that there was a necklace. Oh, I guess
Oh,
that's
it's not a necklace. It's
it's part
a
of her hat. It's
lariat.
the
What do they
cowboy
call
hat.
it? A lariat or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Another card that seems like a really easy full art, although it's not really giving us much more. It's just kind of giving us legs, and the deep legs are definitely not the focus point of Tifa, if you know. But yeah, other than the ad job avalanche operative, which is definitely not, incongruence with the timeline of all that. But all right, so what's her job then? Cowgirl, martial artist, not monk, writer.
What is she doing with her? Never mind.
What's she doing with what? Now I need to know.
Like, what's going on with her hand there?
I don't know. Like, I think she's playfully gesturing towards you with this one. I mean, with the one hand going out. The other one's like looks like it's just holding onto the hat, right? Maybe it's a windy day.
Okay.
I like to imagine it's a windy day. Tour guide. Yeah, I guess that would be that's a good point, John. At this point, she probably would be job tour guide. However, if you're Hobby Japan and Square Enix, you probably look at tour guide and see that there's not a lot of job support for that. So, yeah, but you know what? Put some spec on this girl's name. Her job is not slum dweller, even though she was straight up a bartender at one point at Sector 7, and she never got that kind of.
Kind of the OG slum dweller, isn't she?
A bit, right? Like, I mean, you run a bar in the slums. I feel like you get to be a top tier slum dweller.
Top tier slum dweller.
Yeah. Can we petition to get well, and it wouldn't be appropriate for this card because obviously she wasn't slum dwelling at this point. But you know what? This girl's definitely been to a bachelorette party at Nashville. This card, like this Tifa parties. So I think that's why the obvious answer with that is. Plus the fact that they were like, maybe you didn't see the bust, and then they give you the whole big spirit version of it behind it.
Yes. They just want to make sure you caught it, just in case.
I appreciate it because you know what? I'm tired of holding these magnifying glasses over cards. It's just not cutting it for me. My eyes aren't getting bitter as time goes on, but we've got, you know what? I'm actually glad, Rainey, that we both agreed on what is like the top sexy card of this set, right?
Yes, we did.
Now, I don't know. I'm still debating. I think I probably put Goddess over Tifa, but this card that we're about to show is definitely one that I just thought across the board was like nailing it out of the ballpark. 10 out of 10 art. It's materia.
Yeah, I mean, this is gorgeous. I always have a thing for girls with like a little bit of pink to their hair. I think that's amazing. Her features are so delicate and beautiful. Almost got like a Botticelli vibe to it. Again, like dressed a little bit revealing, but I don't want to say it's tasteful, but it's acceptable. There's something very. Do you remember when in Fifth Element when she's wrapped in the bandages?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing that a little bit here. Yeah, I love this. Although I'm bothered right now. I didn't notice this before because I don't have the full art version of the card in front of me. Mm-hmm. But is that like a chest piece behind her head? Or what are we looking at there?
Yeah, it's kind of like it looks like a chest piece hat, which actually is kind of.
It is a hat because it looks like a really dumb, stupid sailor hat to me, and it's killing it all for me.
Okay,
here. So redeem her for me.
Let me fix it right there. There you go. Now you barely see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think it's nobody's surprise that we're a generation defined by manic pixie dream girls, and for her to have that nice little pink streak into it, and those eyes. Yeah. Those eyes look like that they're staring off and that she's, considering, like, she's very much as somebody who describes her, just like, I've got ADHD and that's my personality. Like somebody who's definitely going to dissociate for like the better part of your conversations. That's fine though, because it gives you a lot to look at in the meantime. I'm on the other end of it. I would say that I think that this is a very tasteful outfit for a goddess. I think when you're a goddess, you have a overabundance of confidence.
Okay, so she is a goddess. That does make it slightly more acceptable.
Yeah, listen, she's transcended past our judgments, and she's allowed to wear what she wants, and she still decides to wear something that's incredibly busty showing, but also
she wears it well. Like she wears it very well.
Tasteful midriff. She's got like this little floating stuff behind her that just because Square Enix loves floating stuff behind them. I don't know, but yeah, this is the best a materia card has ever looked and may ever look. I think thematically it kind of ties in if it's like a chess piece top. If we're going to make it a point to talk about the hat again, I think we go back to this idea that she's constantly in this battle with Spiritus, right? So like,
God,
maybe
is it really a hat? I was hoping it was just a chess piece floating off in the distance.
no. I mean, maybe I actually don't know. I
gotta
never
look this up, man. What a dumb fucking.
I didn't play Dissidia. Like I think I played the first one, and then they kept putting it out on this console that I didn't have. But if like Dissidia gets to be like the White Queen, I guess.
Oh yeah, I should have remembered that from the other cards. It's definitely a hat.
Yeah. I think it's like thematically checks in with it. I do wish I had this card in full art in Japanese though, because the kanji always just makes the full arts look better. I cannot explain why. If you know, you do know. But yeah, do we blame not 500 Days of Summer? What am I thinking of? Oh gosh,
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the movie I'm thinking of? Yeah. Do we blame Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind for why we enjoy this card so much, or are we just attracted to a very attractive woman?
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's just attractive. I find Manic Pixie Dream Girls to be obnoxious. I hate them. So, and I like this card. So I don't think it leans too heavily into that trope. I think it's just it stands on its own 2 feet as being, I mean, beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's what you call it.
This may actually be my new favorite pair of eyes too, and I'm not being derogatory. Just generally, this eyes, just killing it. I think it may be right behind full art Mia from Opus 7 for me.
Her mouth looks a little weird. Can we get a zoom in on her mouth a little bit?
We can always zoom, enhance.
I think the artist kind of maybe like messed up on the mouth.
You think?
Right? It's a little weird, a little like, I don't know. I'm probably being too picky.
I think you're being too picky about it, but this is why I like a woman's perspective on these things, because women will always notice things that men won't. And
I think anatomically it's just a little bit off.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know what I actually think it would be like the dumbest addition, but for whatever reason just makes sense. Like one little mole right here. Just get a little bit of Marilyn on that one. You know?
That would be very anime, yeah.
It would be very anime, but this card's very anime, and that's a lot of the reason why I like it. Like I'm a wee bit hard, so this one's hitting it for me. Anyway, closing thoughts for Materia.
I like the curve of her hip too. That's very attractive and appealing.
Yeah, definitely implies that there's a wagon here, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like this girl carrying, but job goddess she should be. So
yeah, no, I think it's a great card. I would love to have a full art of this someday. Now I'm never going to be able to unsee that hat, but I guess nothing's perfect, right?
I'm just gonna take the whole screen away from me so you can no longer see that for.
I just want to throw this up here. This is what I'm looking at, and it's not as obvious. So maybe I don't want the full art, right?
Yeah, I was about to say maybe you get the full art, but it's like you just put like duct tape over the over the hat with it.
Right. That would be that would be such a terrible weight.
That would be such a terrible waste for a full art. But you know what, Rainey, it's your card, it's your life. You get to do whatever you want. And anyway, guys, that is our top 18-ish, something like that. I actually don't know if it was actually 18. I think I counted it to be like that, but I just really wanted it to be 18 or 21 or some sort of suggestive number, implicative of an age. So anyway, these were the top 18 sexy cards that included children. Don't look too much into that content. Sometimes sexy just means attractive or nice or good to look
18
at.
18 attractive cards for one reason or another, not necessarily sexually.
Yes. Rainey, this is why I bring you on
That's a very long title, though.
Yeah.
That doesn't work,
and that was a lot harder to fit into the title. So I had to be very concise. And this is why I tend to be a long-winded person, because I need to elaborate that the first thing I say probably is not great. And then I got to defend it. And then I got to explain why it's not as bad as you think. And then by this point, you've realized, I think you're making it worse somehow.
No, it is as bad as I think, usually, right? Yeah. I'm like, surely he's not going there. Oh, no, he is going there.
Yeah. To be fair, I was not the one who made the Rosa on her knees comment. So I'm doing at least one up on that one.
That wasn't me either. I was not the one who.
Correct.
I was just passing on a message.
No joke. You know what? Message received.
Yes.
And on that note, Rainey, you got any plugs? Got anything? Where are people going to find you next?
Oh no, I'm kind of taking a break. I'm not playing this set. So I'm hoping to go to nationals though. Maybe do some player interviews out there or something. But for now, I'm just kind of laying low. So I'll catch you guys next set. No plugs.
No, hey, that's two of us hoping to be at nationals as well. Because as I've eloquently described to you before, I'm either playing or I'm not there. Because the break zone got there first, and I just didn't feel like applying for the position to do commentary. Plus, I don't know.
You don't want to put in like 16 hours of unpaid labor. I can't even.
Yeah,
Crazy.
like
Crazy.
even I've got my hubris and ego. I don't want to listen to my voice that much. Like 15 hours maybe, but like 16 is the hard cut out on that one. So
That's fair. That's reasonable.
I think that's fair. But anyways, everybody, as always, thank you for watching our content. Make sure to let us know how we did in the comments below in the chat right now. John says, I'm uncomfortable. Or children. Thanks, John. He also mentions Lilo and Dallas multipass. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I knew John was going to have us covered on that one. But if you like the content that we're doing, let us know in the comments below. If you don't like the content that I am doing, let me know in the comments below, and I'll continue to probably do it anyway, because I think this is funny and entertaining, and sometimes it lets me have excuses to hang out with my friends in other places. So, Rainey, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode, and I think classing it up a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, 100%. I will hope to see you at Nats, and then otherwise, guys, I will see you in Portland. I don't know, maybe Cleveland Store Championship if you're going to Canton. Sorry, it's in Cleveland. Shut up, you know where it is. It's like right next door. Anyways, I'll see you guys there, and safe travels, happy card games, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.